All right, so in this quick video, we're going to be talking about the back-end e-commerce compounding effect. What is that? What does that mean? And how can you use it to benefit and profit from your brand? So if you're watching this video, this might be one of the most valuable videos that you've seen today, and it's going to allow you to scale more profitably without spending more on ads. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about leveraging your email list in a way where you're driving repeat purchases and you're not having to spend more on ads on a monthly basis to generate more revenue as you scale. So, how do you spend the same on ads and make more each and every month as a compounding effect? And so, we have this graphic here that is going to make it pretty clear on what we're talking about. So, I'll zoom in here for you guys. So, what we're talking about here is, let's say month one, you start running ads and you spend $15,000 a month on ads. Those $15,000, let's just say for example purposes, drive you $30,000 in new customer sales. So your total revenue for the month is $30,000 revenue. We're not talking profits here. Every e-commerce brand has their own numbers, 50% gross margins here. And then, you're getting into what your cogs are and all that kind of stuff. So for basic numbers here, $15,000 on ads, driving $30,000 in new sales every month based on that $15,000 in ads. So then you get into month two here. And what you're gonna see is month two, you spend the same $15,000 on ads. You drive another $30,000 in new customer sales. But if you are able to market to these customers that you've acquired in month one over the next 30 days, and you get them to repeat purchase, let's just say 50% of those people who purchased come and repeat purchase again. Let's say, for examples, they spend the same amount of money. Typically, your AOV would increase depending on what kind of brand you are. But for some brands, like in the CPG space, you're going to get an increase in AOV. For example, we have one brand that's a Whole Foods brand, and every order that the customer places, they're buying more and more in bulk and trying to save more money by spending more money, which is fantastic. And so 50% of those people repeat purchase from month one. That gives you an extra $15,000 in revenue generated that month from month one's ad spend. And so that does two things. One, it increases the LTV of the clients, which lowers your CAC on month one. So you actually could have been less, you could have spent more on ads because you were more profitable, or I guess you could be less worried about the ad spend because you know that 50% of those people are going to purchase. So if you're looking at this is $45,000. And technically in month one, that ad spend generated you $45,000 because the repeat purchasers came in month two that were customers from month one. Hopefully that made sense. You should see it on the chart here. It should make sense. So in month two, you generated $45,000 in revenue while spending the same $15,000 on ads. You do this again and again and again and again, and this is how the brands scale. Yes, there's some drop off when you go into like month six, and there's a little bit of a drop off depending on what you sell, what kind of brand you are, what kind of marketing you're doing on the back end, and did you run out of products to sell them? Did you do all your cross sells and upsells and those kind of things? But so yes, there's a drop off, and obviously we're going to acknowledge that. So this isn't going to be exponential until month 188. But for the most part, you can get a lot more from your current ad spend if you're using your back end email marketing. And I'll show you a graphic that explains what we're doing to get these repeat purchases in a second here. So month three, the same $15,000 on ads, bringing the same $30,000 in new customer sales. But now you've generated 50% of the people in month two are purchasing again. So 50% of 45,000, 22.5. Those are people who purchased, and 50% of those people from month two that you've acquired, whether they came from month one ads and repeat purchased again, or whether they came in month two and are repeat purchasing in month three, you are generating $22,500 in extra revenue that month on top of the $30,000 that you got from your 15K in ad spend. And so as you see here, month one, two, three have the same ad spend, but because you're compounding them using the back-end marketing with your email list and your SMS list, you're able to drive repeat purchases, and you're able to compound their customer LTV if you're marketing to them after they purchase. A lot of brands stop marketing to customers as soon as they become a customer, which is wild to me because two things. You've already paid to acquire this customer, so they're a lot cheaper to market to. Email marketing is virtually free. And then the added aspect of that as well is who's the easiest person to market to and to get to buy? Well, it's someone who's already bought before. And so they already proved they have a credit card. They already know, like, and trust you. And so they want to spend money with you. You just have to offer them products. You have to get marketing in front of them. And you can do that with your email list. And so we have a good old not Albert Einstein quote here, the e-commerce compound effect. Compound effect is this compound effect is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it profits. He who doesn't wastes ad spend. Obviously not an Albert Einstein quote, but it's the compounding effect. Everybody knows about it, but most e-commerce brands aren't leveraging it through their email marketing. And so what are we doing with this? Well, let me show you an example here on how we're actually driving repeat purchases with your email list. And so as you see, you're running ads to all these people on the internet. They get to your site. If you're in the top 10% of Shopify brands, the top 10% of site conversion rates, you're going to have 5.2 people buy on your website. That's if you're in the top 10% of Shopify brands. So those buyers are going to be added to your email list. The people who didn't buy, the other 95% of the people that you otherwise would be wasting here. So if you see 2 to 5% of your traffic converts into first-time purchasers, then you capture 8 to 12% of those 95% of people that you'd otherwise waste. That's wasted ad spend if you have no back end marketing, if you're not capturing them on an email pop-up. Then you're going to add them to your email marketing campaigns and flows. And so those are going to drive repeat purchases by this process right here. So you capture them with the pop-up. You collect their email addresses. You have a list. There's a segment of those people that have converted to your email list that are non-buyers, but you also have people that are buyers. And so you're adding all of those people to your email list. With the non-buyers, the goal here is to convert them in your pre-purchase flows. So that's your welcome flow, your abandonment flows, browse abandonment, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, site abandonment. Those are the flows you're going to try to get purchasers for the first time. So repeat purchasers aren't a thing yet. So you want to convert them into first-time purchasers with those pre-purchase flows, as well as some campaigns. They can do the same thing there. And then the buyers that are getting added to your email list, you're sending them consistent email campaigns on a weekly basis. For our clients, we start off at bare minimum 2 campaigns a week, and we really want to scale to 5, 6, 7 campaigns a week, as many as the list can handle, and for us to still be profitable and to not see any downside as far as increased frequency. If you study the top 8, 9, 10-figure brands, the 8 to 9-figure brands that are running email marketing, the biggest brands in the space, most of them are sending daily emails, sometimes multiple times a day, especially multiple times a day when they're running a sale or promo. And so these campaigns and these post-purchase flows that should be added there, if we did a drive repeat purchases, and then we could probably also add a thing here. Like if we get this to work, post-purchase flows. Make that green. And so this is how your email list can be leveraged on the back end to drive repeat purchases to your e-commerce brand that allows that compounding effect to happen. We could probably attach it. Let's see that. Awesome. So that's what we're looking at here. This is going to allow that compounding effect to take place. And so to get these people, this is the step here that we just did. To get these people to repeat purchase, that's what we're doing. We're adding them into flows, we're getting them into campaigns that send weekly, and we're driving traffic back to the site to drive repeat purchases from the same people that you've already paid to acquire to your site. And so you don't want to waste that other 95 to 98% of your ad spend and have it go straight into the bin. You want to market to them. You've already paid to acquire them. Yes, you're going to run retargeting ads. Yes, you're going to have social media running. You're going to have organic traffic, but all that right there is really out of your control. And so what you want to be doing is using your email list, capturing them into your email list and marketing to them using flows and campaigns on a weekly basis, as well as all the flows are behavioral based. So if they do things on your site, active on site, add to cart, review a product, those kind of things, you're hitting them with emails to get them further down the funnel and to buy and buy again. And so that is how you're able to set up a proper backend and to leverage it to get this e-commerce compounding effect. That way you can make the same amount of money or make spend the same amount of money and make more money on a month-to-month basis. That way you can scale without having to scale your ad spend. So hopefully that made sense. I'll show you one more thing if I can find it here on what else this is going to do for you. So this is going to drive traffic to the site, and that's why it's super important. So you have your brand, you're sending campaign emails to your email list. Your sales from your email list requires zero extra ad spend, so they're going to drive repeat purchases, which increases your LTV to CAC ratio and drives the repeat purchases from the traffic on your site, and it's virtually free. So hopefully that makes sense. Definitely utilize this in your back end marketing for your e-commerce brand. If you don't know how to set any of these up, send me a message below or subscribe to the channel, and we're going to be sending a lot of trainings out through our email list. If you go to the D2C letters, you can subscribe to our newsletter. We send out graphics and frameworks and techniques and tips and tricks that are actionable for you to implement in your e-commerce brand to make more revenue overnight through implementing those actionable tips, as well as subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're going to be doing weekly training videos, as well as we're going to be pumping out some webinars and live workshops here over the next 100 days or so. So stay in tune for that. And yeah, comment below if you have any topics that you want us to discuss about back end marketing for e-commerce brands or email marketing in general, or anything e-commerce brand related. We can see what we can do.